like to start off with a quote by Audre Lorde. It is not our differences that divide us, it is our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences. My name is Trevor Stickle, and today I'll be talking about some of my interests and why I feel so strongly about the issue of racial discrimination. First off, I really enjoy watching television in my free time, especially Asian dramas. I started watching these in 2019, and ever since then I finished about 4 or 5, since they tend to be very long. But the best part of watching these is seeing someone who comes from the same background as me represented on screen and being successful and celebrating their culture and their language and who they are. And my other interest in my free time is clothing trends and fashion. I started this more as in high school, and ever since then I've really started to develop my own sense of style, and I know what I like, what I don't like. And I can even remember when I was younger, I used to go to the mall with my sister, and we would look at clothes for hours, and she'd even start asking me my opinion on certain clothing. And the best part about fashion is being able to try different styles, different patterns, anything that you want it to be. And I even got to do little photo shoots with my friends. And this brings me on to my main issue of racial discrimination in America. So by combining these interests in fashion and in television, it made me want to celebrate my Asian heritage more and to research why racial discrimination is such an issue in America. So first off, as I grew up, I realized on television that there weren't really a lot of people who had features like me or who came from a background like I did represented on screen. And if there were, then they were usually like kung fu masters, or they were some evil villain. They were just placed into a stereotype, not who they could actually be. And even in the fashion world, Western and Eastern fashion were so different. If you look at historical Western fashion, it tends to be more fitted. If you think of like a corset, it cinches in a waist and it accentuates the body. But if you look at traditional Asian clothing, like a kimono from Japan, it's more loose and flowy, but it still highlights the body in some aspects. And so America is hailed as this melting pot of different cultures and people, but you don't see all those different people represented in television or fashion. If you think about what the American beauty standard is, it is blue eyes, blonde hair, fair skin, and not everyone meets that criteria. And the ones who don't get cast aside, or they get mistreated or put down because that's not who they are. This is one of the many reasons why I think racial discrimination is an issue in America. I believe there is some sort of solution, even if it's not obviously clear, but America needs to learn how to be more accepting of people from other cultures, backgrounds, ethnicities. There have been times where people protested or they asked for the government to intervene, but this has proven ineffective. For example, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was supposed to protect minorities from discrimination, but 50, 60 years later, we're still dealing with the same issue again and again and again. And I believe since race is something that is socially constructed, meaning that it is made by other people, that we need to implement some sort of cultural sensitivity class in school to teach our children to be more accepting of others and other people from different nations around the world. And to conclude, I just wanted to remind you that I discussed my interests and racial discrimination in America, and I sincerely hope that in the future we can all be in an America where people of all nations, ethnicities, races can be accepted for who they are. Thank you.